Hi lovely people, welcome and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to give an update on some of the upcoming new music in the pop and R&B landscape and what we can expect from a few artists' new music this year. I feel like so many artists are dropping this year, especially within the first and second quarter, and I'm extremely excited because I really think we are going to get fed this year and I'm looking forward to it. In October 2023, the singer Tyla made her debut on the US Billboard Hot 100 chart, becoming the first South African artist in 55 years to make an appearance on the charts with her hit song Water. Since then, Water has risen on the charts, peaking at number 10 on the Hot 100 and has went platinum in the US and New Zealand. The song has practically taken over the world through its virality on TikTok, which inspired the Water Challenge, its dance, and different remixes to the song, and even earned Tyla her first Grammy nomination for Best African Music Performance. Tyla ended her 2023 by making her American television performance debut on Jimmy Fallon and followed up by performing on the finale of The Voice, showcasing her captivating stage presence. Additionally, in November of last year, Tyla teased her fans with 3 new singles from her upcoming self-titled debut album set to be released on March 1st. The songs Truth or Dare, On, and Butterflies all showcase the diverse and melodic versatility and artistry in Tyla's approach to her production. Tyla has mentioned that she enjoys to mix R&B and pop with African production, which results in the pop piano sound. I personally love Truth or Dare a little more than I love Water because I feel like it just transports me to another realm. It just has a catchy, airy, and angelic aura to it, and the lyrics are another standout component to the song. When talking with Cosmo magazine on the development for her forthcoming album, Tyla said, quote, "I have a lot of amazing songs. I've been recording for basically 2 years trying to make the project that I'm happy with. My mini one is just a little taste, so people have more things to listen to other than Water, and people can get to know my sound and who Tyla is as an artist. Then the debut album, that's gonna be a moment. I really love how artists used to break back in the day, so I try to bring that back with the things I do. I really like that time," unquote. In addition to the album, Tyla announced her first headlining international tour starting in March. I'm a huge fan of Tyla already, and I feel like her album will be one of the best debuts we have heard in a while. According to the Grammy Awards website, they describe Zara Larsson's forthcoming project as a pop album fit for a goddess. Zara is another person who I'm impatiently waiting to drop her next project. Since late 2022, she has been previewing her 4th studio album titled Venus, set to release on February 9th, which will also be the first album released under her own record label, Summer House, after Zara ended her 11-year contract with Tems Music Group and was able to acquire her masters. In January 2023, Zara released her first single, Can't Tame Her, which is an 80s synth pop song very similar to The Weeknd's Blinding Lights. She followed up in May of that year with the power ballad and dance single titled End of Time, which was inspired by ABBA and Rihanna's Loud era. More recently, Zara released her latest single a few months later in September titled All My Love, in which she reunited with her friend DJ Guetta since their 2016 international hit song This One's For You. Although my favorite song out of the 3 would be Can't Tame Her, I love the sentiment behind All My Love. Though the song was pretty much completed by the time it reached Zara, the song's meaning was open for interpretation. But Zara decided to dedicate it to her sister, which I thought the song and the video was beautiful as it featured old footage of Zara and her sister. When describing what to expect from Venus, Zara said, quote, "This is a very solid body of work that I'm very proud of. I find it really hard to stay sonically in one kind of genre. Even though the album is still pop, it sounds a bit more R&B leaning and also has more just classic pop jams. There are drum patterns and drum beats on some songs, and there are also some beautiful strings on most of the songs. So while there are definitely elements which tie in together, overall I would just say the real thread throughout the album is just my voice and me telling a story depending on what I'm feeling right now," unquote. Along with the aforementioned 3 singles, Zara teased a new song, You Love Who You Love, on her TikTok. At this point, I already think Venus would be a huge step above her 2021 Poster Girl album because her sound is completely different and the year-long promotion is really culminating into a more dynamic and carefree era. Zara will also be going on tour for this album and will be making her acting debut this year in the Netflix movie A Part of You. Dua Lipa is another artist whom I am admittedly desperate to hear their new album. I'm the biggest Dua Lipa fan, and my anticipation and excitement for her 3rd album grew even more when she released her lead single last November titled Houdini. Produced by Kevin Parker from the group Tame Impala and Danny L. Harrell, they created a psychedelic pop electronic track that draws inspiration from famed magician Harry Houdini to make the declaration to her potential partner that they must prove themselves to her, otherwise she will quickly escape like Houdini. Personally, I love this single and I'm still playing it to this day, but it seems like it is not really resonating with mass audiences in the way I expected, especially coming off the massive Dance the Night success from the Barbie movie. Though Houdini peaked at number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100, I can understand if people are not exactly wowed by this single, considering it is pretty safe and free of risk lyrically and sonically. I'll talk more in depth about this era for Dua and what she has been up to in her quote-unquote off-season in my Dua is Not Your Average Pop Star video, which you should definitely check out. But it seems her team opted to continue the 70s, 80s style of music Dua has been experimenting lately and will probably unleash the unique and edgy material Dua has been hinting at. When describing the sound of the album, Dua said that it would sound more personal. She said, quote, "I've definitely grown up. Overall, whether it's sonically or in terms of the themes, I've matured. It's like I'm coming into my power and not afraid to talk about things. It's about understanding what I want," unquote. At the time of the release of this video, we do not have an official title nor release date, but I would assume Dua's team is waiting until after all the Barbie soundtrack Oscar buzz dies down before she fully leads into her rollout for her third project. Following the footsteps of other successful British girl groups such as the Spice Girls, All Saints, and Little Mix, the R&B group Flow have been making strides to form their identity and craft their sound and image as they look to release their debut album this year. The group consists of Georgia Douglas, Renee Downer, and Stella Charisma. Flow formed when the childhood friends Renee and Stella attended open auditions hosted by Island Records to form a girl group. The girls knew of Georgia through social media, and they all met at one of the final auditions and decided to team up as they had great chemistry, which encouraged them to form a trio. They eventually landed the audition, and from there they were put into an intense artist development camp, which included writing camps, learning to sing on a treadmill, and collaborating with various producers and creatives to hone in their sound and develop their EPs. They worked mostly with producer Emma Nike, who crafted their first single, Cardboard Box, which went viral on TikTok and later made several year-end lists from various publications for being one of the best songs released in 2022. The group eventually released their debut EP, The Lead, in 2022 and followed up with their second EP, Three of Us, released in 2023. They also released a single, Fly Girl, featuring Missy Elliott in May of 2023. Given that expectations are mounting and more eyes are now on the group, the girls mentioned that they scrapped the album they have created and went back to the drawing board. In conversation with GQ, they said that, quote, "We need to develop the key pillars of what we stand for and who we are and turn it into a brand. Essentially what we're going to sell for the next, 5 to 10 years. We cannot put out our album without our identity," unquote. I love that Flow already has that self-awareness that they do not want to just put anything out there for the sake of having a body of work, but they intend to establish their identity so that it can result in not only having a dedicated fan base, but to create a sound that is personalized to them and not just a reincarnation of the 90s and early 2000s girl groups that we have seen and heard. Y'all, it's been 4 long, tough years without my pop girl Ariana Grande, but we are so back. Ariana Grande has been teasing her highly anticipated 7th album, also known as AG7, the entire month of December, and fans have been trying to uncover all of the Easter eggs Ariana and her team of collaborators have been dropping. It all began on December 7th when Ariana posted a photo collage on Instagram of her in the recording studio, with a few photos alongside frequent collaborator, producer Max Martin, who has helped create some of Ariana's most notable hits such as Problem, Break Free, and No Tears Left to Cry. I love the comment section of this specific post because it seems like so many people in the industry are equally ready and excited for her return, just as the fans are. On December 17th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Ariana dropped a muted video of her singing in the studio, further exciting fans. A few days later, in the comment section, Ariana confirmed that there would not be any snippets for this era, which I personally prefer because snippets always ruin the surprise for me. On December 27th, she shared yet another photo collage on Instagram captioned with "See You Next Year," which featured a video of her mom seemingly dancing to a new song, more pictures of Ariana in the studio with her main producer from Sweetener, and a blurred postcard of Ariana wearing lipstick along with a package of her R.E.M. Beauty Cosmetics line of red lipstick. It was reported that it was a holiday package that Ariana sent to several people who manage her fan accounts. Ariana's brother Frankie also posted on Instagram a photo of Ariana's red lipstick postcard with the caption that read, "Y'all ain't ready." 2 days later, she teased a new project by posting additional photos of her in the studio, as well as a text exchange with Max Martin, in which they used a red kiss emoji, and Max said, "I'm so down with the internet." On New Year's Day, Ariana's Sweetener Instagram page was cleared, and an AG7 sign-up link was added to the bio, in which the website displayed a completely different layout, which matched the theme of the blurred lipstick photo. On January 4th, Ariana's label Republic Records posted a picture on Ariana on their Instagram page with a caption that said, "All we can think about now is that it's quote-unquote next year." That same day, Ariana's main photographer, Miles Diggs, posted a photo of Ariana strolling through New York in a crew neck that read, "Yes, and?" with the caption reading, "With your chest." Fans theorized that Yes and would either be the single or the album name, as they trace back to 2018 when Ariana teased her Sweetener era when she wore a No Tears Left to Cry crew neck at Disney World. That brings us to the long-awaited day of January 7th, when Ariana finally announced her new single, Yes and, would be released on January 12th. in which it was also announced that the single would be promoted to US pop radio immediately upon its release. A few days prior, the radio host from Q102 briefly talked about Ariana's new single by saying that it does not sound like her last stuff. I am unbelievably excited, and I just can't wait to listen and talk about her new era because it's been a long time coming. As for Miss SZA, she has been teasing a deluxe version of her SOS album titled Lana since late last year. Fans initially thought she would drop the 7 to 10 track project on December 15th after she released a series of potential cover arts, but obviously that did not happen. When talking with Variety about Lana, SZA said, quote, "It was going to be SOS outtakes and some new songs, but it's become more than I expected. It was going to be really soft because I had made all my screaming points and I just wanted to glide and not think too much and get out of my own head. I was so happy to say some ish that didn't mean a effing thing. It's definitely turning into its own album, and I guess I could drop a new album randomly because no one's actually expecting that from me right now, but I can't tell if now's the time to be consistent or carefree. On one hand, it's like, what would Beyonce do? But I'm also deeply inspired by people who do whatever the F they want, like Frank Ocean and Andre 3000. Some of my favorite songs were the ones that I dropped on SoundCloud because it was so stress-free, unquote." Although SZA never officially confirmed a release date, fans are still hoping the release will be imminent, but now it seems we will still have to wait even longer given the tweet SZA posted days ago which said, "Leaking my music is stealing. This is my job. This is my life and my intellectual property. You are a effing thief, and I promise to put maximum energy into holding everyone accountable to the fullest extent of the law. I am tired." Her manager Punch chimed in by saying, "When music leaks, it often leads to delays and or canceling whole projects. I personally hate leaks because, as I mentioned before, it just ruins the surprise, and as Punch mentioned, it forces the artist to rework their entire project, which inevitably puts fans at a disadvantage because we are the ones clamoring for new music. I always wonder how exactly music keeps leaking for certain artists, and I saw this Reddit post that said, most of the time, it's probably not the artist being hacked. Journalists and others in the industry receive the music early for reviewing and other purposes, just like film critics get access to early screenings of movies. Once it's in those hands, it's much easier for things to get leaked, even if journalists themselves aren't doing the leaking." In which someone else said, definitely not journalists, it's most of the time producers and other people involved in the studio side of things. Aside from SZA, other artists I would not go too much in depth with, but I am very excited for their next projects will be Money Long. Her song Made For Me is absolutely timeless and beautiful. She worked with Jermaine Dupri on this track, and in the behind-the-scenes video of the recording process, Jermaine said that he heard the TikTok mashup of Yeet and Mariah Carey's We Belong Together, which Jermaine wrote and produced, and he said he liked the vibe of the mashup and wanted to create a similar version of that sound with Money's song Made For Me. When describing the meaning of the song, Money said, quote, "The feeling behind this song is love and connection, feeling you met this person in another time. I hope that people are inspired. I hope that my peers hear what I'm doing and realize it's not hopeless. Music is not dying. You just have to put a little bit more elbow grease and passion into it. Stop trying to compete with anyone or chase the sound. Just be who you are. I think that's enough," unquote. CoCo Jones is another artist I'm awaiting their debut album. Her 2022 EP, What I Didn't Tell You, has took over the R&B landscape, particularly her platinum song ICU, which helped garner CoCo 5 Grammy nominations for this year's ceremony. CoCo has not said much about her album, given that she has spent all of 2023 touring and promoting her EP, but when she was recently asked when we could expect her debut album, CoCo said, quote, "If it was up to me, I would want my debut album to come out in March or April because I would want to go on tour when it's warmer. It was so cold this tour, we need to warm it up, but that's just me." Finally, the king of R&B, Usher, is another person I'm waiting for because just like 2023, I know 2024 will be a huge year for him, given the hype from his residency, his new album Coming Home, releasing in February, and of course, his Super Bowl performance, which I feel like will undoubtedly be the highlight of 2024. Please let me know in the comments what you all think of any of the artists we talked about today, and comment who or what other new music you are anticipating this year. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on your notification bell, and I'll see you next time.